You are now tuned into the sounds of
Big Nate Sports Talk.
It's on all the time, anytime.
If you don't speak, then you won't get spoken to. People only see you when you up, then they notice you. Trying to be a legend, create lines is quotable. Only the real shall last, and I only know a few. People when they feelings always acting emotional. Ain't about a check, then it ain't negotiable. Gotta show respect to the people that's posting you. Soon to be on posters posted up like the older dudes.
Now we aging like fine wine, how we supposed to do. Peep the shade on the timelines, this time posted cool. Shit is black and white like photos from a disposable. Certain situations you ain't end up uncontrollable. All up in their head, I be so confused. I just brush it off, peep the shoulder moves. We all got the same 24, so it's no excuse. Switch it up, we could rap or produce. The things you can't have is forbidden fruit.
It seems like people love telling lies on me. They know that I'm the one, they got their eyes on me. They know I'm here to stay.
You are now tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that is on all the time, anytime. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the next big thing, the latest up-and-coming sports journalist, your host, Nathan Snell.
My gosh. Thank you, Mr. Anthony Haney, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a wonderful Monday evening. I know I am, even though I'm still recovering from the Washington Commanders beating the Baltimore Ravens in the preseason game tonight. Before we get into it, let me just get some things out the way. In this episode, season 16, episode 6. As you see the title, we're talking about WNBA Week 13. Brendan Potts cannot join me on this episode this week. We'll hope to have him on next week. We're gonna look out for some NFL content. We're getting ready for Week 3 of the preseason for the Baltimore Ravens and Washington Commanders. You'll see those videos out. We will also get ready for baseball, playoffs. College football is approaching, so we'll talk about Maryland football and what to expect from them. And for the most part, we're going to get ready for the WNBA playoffs. For some teams, it's grind time. For now, we already kind of know who the top 4 seeds most likely will be. This MVP race, I still think it's Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart's 1A, 1B. You can also even put Alyssa Thompson. I think those are the top 3 MVP candidates. If you think about it, each 3 make a case to be MVP. But let's keep it real. This MVP race was pretty much decided really before All-Star break. So, in my opinion. But I still believe Asia Wilson will be MVP. Even though I am not sold on really, I think Asia Wilson has done a lot for her team more than what Brianna Stewart has done, in my opinion. Because it's the same Liberty. I just don't trust the New York Liberty. I got to see what it looks like come playoff time, and that's really going to be the big test. Let's get into it. The Week 13, this is where I think each team should be, and that's number 12, the Phoenix Mercury. At this point, they're 9-20. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. They're 9-23, excuse me. I don't really see much after. I thought it was starting to pick up when DT hit 10,000 points. But since she's done that, they lost 3 in a row. Embarrassingly, they were all by double digits. Megan Gustafson and Brittany Griner are out this past week due to health and safety protocols. They will have their streak of 10 consecutive postseason appearances snapped. if they miss the playoffs. Then most likely it will occur. And we're going to get into that at some point later down the stretch, off-season talk with them. But there's really not much to say. They have Los Angeles Wednesday, and they have Dallas Sunday. So buckle up. Number 11, the Chicago Sky. I really think what James Waite put together here, and honestly and truthfully, if we're being honest, it was a fail. Let's just be honest with that. I just don't really. They did snap they have a chance to play the Seattle Storm tomorrow, which is Tuesday. I don't really see really much what they can do. They're going to have to win. They're going to at least win down the stretch. They beat Dallas to start the month of August, but they've lost 5 in a row, and that was to Atlanta and Connecticut. And I think they're going to have to figure some things out. If you told me today what this team would look like, I would say you're crazy, personally. So we shall see what it looks like. Seattle Storm. I think the Seattle Storm are Jewel Lloyd to me should make an All NBA team. They won last year. They're 4, and they're 6-3 since their 10-game losing streak. I think other than New York and Las Vegas, they'll have better records. But Sunday, Jewel Lloyd had 31 points against Minnesota. They actually split games with them. So I know they have Chicago on Tuesday, Indy Thursday, and I think Chicago again Sunday. So they look like they might get that AC. That battle for the AC is going to be very, very interesting to watch. Number 9, the Indiana Fever. You can see the potential of what this team is and what it can be, but realistically, and I really could make a case. 9 through 12, if we want to be honest, are all interchangeable. You've seen improvements, but it's just not translating into wins. And I think it's coaching. I respect Christy Sides, but also it's lineup management. It's what you're putting out there in certain situations. Great example. I'm watching them play the Washington Mystics. Down the stretch, the ball movement becomes very fragile. It becomes stale. There's no trust. And it's just lineups. And you got to be better down the stretch, but you got to have better discipline. If they clean those things up, this team could really be something. But I know, with the whole, chemistry thing, I just want to get this off, say this. I'm hearing all this, trade Kelsey Mitchell. The question that needs to be asked, because no one's asked this question. If you trade for her, what are you expecting in return? And you have to also look at it from this perspective. If you're Indiana, what do you want for her? Just saying. Because I still think this is the team they're building around her. But also, too, respectfully, like Melissa Smith and Leah Boston. I can't even get it out. I'm sorry. Melissa Smith and Leah Boston, that's a pretty damn good duo. I would build around that. Sunday, you had 28 points from Kelsey Mitchell. You had 25 from Melissa Smith. Hell, Grace Berger had through a career high 5 assists. So, I see potential with this team. I think you just gotta work out the kinks. You know what I'm saying? Give it time. I can see if this was let's say this was 2-3 years down the stretch, and then you may have an argument. But let's give them some grace, just a little bit. Number 8, painfully, my Washington Mystics. First and foremost, let me take this opportunity to thank the Washington Mystics for giving me the opportunity to cover this team. It has been an awesome journey so far to cover them. I was at the game watching them play those Dallas Wings, and painfully, we lost. We have Connecticut Tuesday, not looking forward to that, and Las Vegas Saturday, not looking forward to that. If I had to write a story book on this Mystic team in this season, the title would be Roller Coaster. It has just been up and down with this team. And with the injuries and all those other things like that, it has been very hard at times to watch. Ariel Atkins and Elena Deladon came back Friday against Indy, snapped that 9-game road game losing streak. And then then Sunday came and EDD didn't play. Her ankle, she said, was feeling pretty good. Now it's the hip. And then Shakira also did play due to rest. I mean, respectfully, I gotta have some other step up. And I didn't even mention Christy Tolliver. I mean, Shatoi Walker-Kimbrell, because and I'll talk about this more separate and break it down. But watching them play Dallas, there was exception of what it might have been, if I'm saying it correctly. Let me look back at the score sheet. With the exception of Maisha Hines-Allen, everyone was in the negatives, and some were in the teens. They didn't. When I look at this roster, realistically, I don't think you can compete with the Dallases of the world, the Las Vegases, the Connecticut's in a 5-game series, and especially if you don't have EDD or Shakira Austin, and they're 15 and 17. I still think this team would be a 7th, 8th seed best. But when this team gets healthy, when I'm talking fully healthy, this is a team I think people should fear, watch out for. I know all the comments regarding Elena Deladon and her health, and we're going to get to that at some point. So stay tuned for a video on that. Because I have some things to say, and I know some people may not like it, but I have one word: duck. But Tiana Hawkins should be team MVP. Maisha Hines-Allen is starting to slowly but surely get back to some form of what she was before the injury. We're still looking for her to get back to the wobble version of her back in 2020. Lee Mung has been doing her thing. Queen Enegbo has just been playing tremendously well. She just is a natural at her position, energy. I have to apologize because when I did a draft grade on her, I gave her a D+, because I felt like when they drafted her, I felt like there was a reach, and there were some certain fundamental things she needed to work on. And my God, I was wrong, and I sincerely apologize for that, because we're going to need everyone down the stretch to step up. And Brittany Sykes and Natasha Cloud, they have done that because they're the two that keep this engine going. So I'm curious who it looks like this week. But it's going to be tough. Number 7, the Atlanta Dream. They actually will face Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and then Indy. I believe Ryan Howard will be out because of a nose injury. So I'm curious to see what that'll look like, how they'll play them. I believe tomorrow is Cheyenne Parker's birthday, so happy early birthday, Cheyenne. I still think they'll finish as a top 5 seed. But this has kind of been another season for them. I mean, this is kind of like Washington, just up and down. You can see what this roster, this team can be, but some of it I think is construction of the roster. They've had winning streaks of 7. and they've had like 3 different losing streaks. But I still think they make the playoffs. I think they'll finish the top 5 seed. For me, right now, if the playoffs started today, I believe they face Dallas. Whew, that should be interesting. I know. And Washington we'd face New York, and then Los Angeles would face Vegas. That's how the seeding would be. So, I'm not a fan of this roster construction with Atlanta. And it's going to be interesting to see how they look down the stretch. But I still think Atlanta will finish as a top 5 seed. Will finish with the top 5. Finish in the top 5 seed.
Guaranteed.
Number 6, the Los Angeles Sparkies. Jordan Canada should be in the conversation for most improved player. I should also throw in there Tiana Hawkins should be in the conversation for most improved player. NECA, I believe, in my opinion, is in the MVP conversation, but at this point, it's no brainer. It should be either Asia, Brianna, or even Alyssa Thomas. They've been playing extremely well. This week they get Phoenix, Atlanta, and then Connecticut. They upset Las Vegas on Saturday. They won the last 6 of the last 9. Because this was a team that looked like a draft lottery team. It looked defeated. So it's a good season for them. I'm still praying for Lexi Brown. I know she has been dealing with some health issues, and I hope to see her back on the court soon. But health, not just physical, but mental and spiritual health is more important than just dribbling a basketball. So, Lexi, I hope you feel better. Get well soon. Evina Westbrook, who I think who has been who's been, when the minutes are given to her, she's been playing really well. I believe at this point they can now sign rest of the season hardship, under the emergency hardship contract, and it gets out for the rest of the season. So, yeah, the Sparks looking pretty good. So I think the Sparks, and I might take some flack for this, but will have the 8th seed.
Guaranteed.
Number 5, Minnesota. For me, Minnesota, I think a couple things is they just got to finish strong. They get Dallas Tuesday at home, and then at Dallas Thursday, and then New York Saturday. They at home are not a good team for some reason. They're 6-10. They lost to Seattle Sunday. This is a couple days after Minnesota beat them in Seattle. They're 2-4 this month. You're facing a Dallas Wing team that just is coming off a monstrous win against us, Washington, back to back. So they're the same record as us at the moment. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I think they'll make the playoffs. They'll be the 7th seed in my opinion. Like I said, they would face New York if the playoffs started today. But other than that, I think Nafisa Collier is also. If we did the top 5, let's just say hypothetically, let's say it's top 5 MVPs. Number 1, also from 5 down. Number 5, Nafisa. 4, Satu Sabli. Number 3, Alyssa Thomas. 2, Brianna Stewart. Number 1, Asia Wilson. NECA's right there at 6, in my opinion. But they've been playing well. I'm disappointed, though, with the lack of play that Aerial Powers has gotten. There's clearly something there that's going on. And I'm disappointed because if you're Cheryl Reeves, and, this is where I have to say this is where GM and head coach should be 2 separate positions, because you paid her like a star and she's not playing. Because she did lead off a tweet that I thought was very, very interesting, and it shows a lot that she's done there, and um, we'll see. But Minnesota has a busy and a tough week. Before we get to the final top four, let's get to the sponsor of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast, and that is Zagnif Apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to dress like you're already famous? You can and you will with Zagnif Apparel.
The following is a presentation of Zagnif Productions, LLC. Introducing Zagnif Apparel. Our comfortable line of leisure wear and athletic wear will have you comfortable and stylish at any occasion. Whether you're at the gym, out shopping, or just relaxing at home. Whether you're an athlete or just want to lay around the house, we've got the perfect outfit for you. Stop by our website today and pick up your favorite pieces. Zagnif Apparel. Dress like you're already famous.
You most certainly will, and you can, with a nice 15% off, as you see on the screen here, with their final purchase, 15% off using my discount code, Big Nate, for your final purchase when shopping at Zagnif Apparel. Thank you, Zagnif Apparel, for being a sponsor of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We are back, and we're going to finish off the top four with the team that beat us yesterday, the Dallas Wings. Hey, look, that team is they're just built different. I think that they have silenced all the critics. Awak, Kyrie, and Kalani Brown, I asked them both about, just kind of getting back to getting focused, getting right, and you just see it. I think the biggest thing is just consistency. I think at times, the shooting can take them out the game. There's some things just fundamentally they got to clean up on. I mean, other than that, the schedule that's left for Dallas is in their favor. Other than that, they beating us and Washington and Connecticut, excuse me. I just don't really know how you can beat them. And they're on pace to really have their first winning season since 2015 when they were in Tulsa. So, that 4 seed, like I said, I think Dallas is going to finish as top 4 seed, in my opinion, because it's a distant fourth, in my opinion. They got Minnesota Tuesday on the road, back home, and then Phoenix Sunday. So, and the team that just has for me, I just don't think, even though, again, let's be honest, you beat a Washington team if you're Dallas that didn't have Lane Deladon and you didn't have Shakira Austin. Yeah, same thing with Connecticut. You didn't have, yes, Bree Jones is not there. Um, and they just had a bad game. And then they were entitled, and everyone's entitled to have a bad game. Um, I mean, for me, they're going to make the playoffs for a seventh. They're going to make the playoffs for the seventh time. I believe Seattle and Phoenix are the only two teams that have had the longest win streaks. Um, I mean, other than the loss to Dallas. I mean, again, this is the success that they're having without Bree Jones and John Quell Jones. Stephanie Wright should be in the conversation for Coach of the Year. And I could also put Coach Trammell in there. Trammell, excuse me, and Coach of the Year conversation. I mean, they've got us tomorrow, New York Thursday. That should be a good game. And then Los Angeles Sunday. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned with them, but I do think offensively they do need AT and Alyssa Thomas, excuse me, and DeWanna Bonner offensively. They need some other step up. Dejanay Carrington has been playing wonderful minutes. Rebecca Allen. I need Natisha Heidemann to step it up a little bit more. But this team has just been finding ways to win. And again, man, AT. I believe she's actually on pace to surpass Tina Charles with double doubles. So, hey, I think this is a team that, again, I was surprised. I felt like when Bree went down with her injury, I was like, damn, that's the championship right there gone. But I still think this team can make some heads turn, in my opinion. And the team that won the regular season championship, the New York Liberty, I still don't. I mean, I feel like there's really not much I can say. Now I think chemistry wise, I think they're a little bit back on track. I mean, they lost to Las Vegas a few days later after winning the championship, the Commissioner's Cup, excuse me. It's first trophy in 27 years. I mean, for me, I want to see what this team looks like come playoff time. You got Connecticut Thursday and then Minnesota Sunday. I still think they at times get a bit sloppy. They got to be better at playing 40 minutes of basketball, finishing on both sides of the ball. I mean, look, Sabrina Nescu and her 3-point shooting has been picking up as a late Courtney Vandersloot. Just her just as an on-court coach, I think is great. But yeah, they won 6 straight games on the road. But I need to see what this team looks like come playoff time. So we'll see. And then the team that, in my opinion, I'm sorry, I know some were saying, I saw an article where it said finally a team that Las Vegas Aces were dethroned. In my opinion, they still have not been dethroned. Yes, painfully, their 21 game winning streaks at home was snapped. And that was painfully due to the Sparks beating them. I still think Becky, Coach Hammond, has to work out some lineup adjustments. Again, we talked about this last week with Brendan Potts. I need to know what the true roles for your bench is. I think also to Alana Coates, I believe she is also at some point going to get another contract where it's just going to be signed for the rest of the season. For me, I know Coach Hammond talked about she wants to see more 3-point shooting. And I don't think they're just fatigued. I just think that I can say they are fatigued. I mean, when you're on the road, they've just been busy nonstop. We get them Saturday. We get Atlanta tomorrow. We get Chicago Thursday. So I'm curious to see what it looks like. They'll be fine. Just like Brendan said, I'm not worried about them. So I think for me, they'll be the number one seed because I still think they'll get to the playoffs. And again, not having a full healthy Alicia Clark makes a difference. Raquana Williams not there, Candace Parker not there, makes a difference. So we'll see what it looks like. But that is my rankings for this week. And before we end this episode, let us get into the final thoughts.
Thoughts are running through my mind. Someone took some time to find a minute or two to organize.
I just want to again thank the Washington Mystics for giving me the opportunity to cover this team. Saturday when I was at the game Sunday. Sorry, when I was there yesterday. It's interesting to see a team up close from a fan perspective, but from a journalist perspective, and just kind of just seeing like, okay, it's just been fun. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Got to give a shout out to MarylandSportsBlog.com for also giving me the opportunity to write for them. I know I've been behind on some writings. I'll have those out by the end of this week. We're getting ready for Vegas Sunday. Saturday. I'll be there at the game covering it. I'll be covering the Atlanta Dream. That's our last home game. That's in September. But I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you again to the Washington Mystics. It's been an honor. I can't wait to do for Maryland women's basketball team. My goal is to do at least 5 to 6 games covering the Terrapins. I definitely want to get out there and do their media day. I'm hoping it's when it doesn't interfere with a couple things. I'm hoping to get to their media day. That's the goal. Also, too, I just want to continue to reiterate. Look, I'm also learning to be better when it comes to being on social media, when it comes to engaging with some people on Twitter when it comes to the WNBA. Again, we can all agree, we can disagree, we can all have opinions, but I do think it gets to the point where we're not appreciating the greatness. Let's just start appreciating that. And also, too, man, you just have to be a little bit mindful of who you network with and who you trust, because there are some snakes in the grass, and at some point they will turn on you and turn to bite you. And you just got to just keep your circle small, know who your supporters are, and, make sure you're doing your part to impact the game in a positive way. And that's something that I'm learning to do. But that's my final thought. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning on this episode. Also, too, you'll also see some episodes for Keeping It 9450, Mystic Talk with yours truly. Be tuned in for future episodes of Big Knee Sports Talk Podcast. You'll get some episodes soon. Previews for the Washington Commanders. And, well, I will be painfully recording my reaction to us losing to the Commanders. So I'm going to have that done it's late. So I'll have that done in a few minutes, and I'll have that out to you guys as soon as possible. You could also follow my work on MarylandSportsBlog.com, where I write for the Washington Mystics and the Maryland women's basketball team. But this has been your host, this is another Big Knee Sports Talk Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone's off to a great week. Let's make this a great week. September is almost here. Before you know, it'll be Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then 2024 will be here. But again, y'all have a good night. Peace. Stay out.
Say what's wrong or right. No, it's not
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the next big thing, the next up-and-coming sports journalist, Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
I want to thank you, yeah. I want to thank you. Ooh. For all the times you put up with me. Thank you. And you helped me retain my sanity. Thank you. I want to thank you. And I want to thank you. All I want to do is say thank you for everything.